This is part 5 of our trip to Alaska. It includes our visit in and around the Yukon's frontier town of Dawson City. After leaving Whitehorse, we drove 325 miles up the beautiful, rough, and permafrost-damaged Klondike Highway to spend 4 days exploring the Dawson City area. Dawson City is one of the most unique destinations we visited during our trip to Alaska. Located at the confluence of the Klondike and Yukon rivers, Dawson City was created by the discovery of gold in 1896. While almost everybody that travels to Yukon makes their way through Whitehorse, it's Dawson City that has the real appeal to those looking for an authentic Yukon experience. We had the chance to experience much of Dawson City's Yukon culture, which include wandering around the city's dirt streets, visiting nearby Tombstone Territorial Park, hiking, panning for gold, visiting Canada's oldest authentic gold rush saloon, and other national historic sites, museums, and points of interest. Dawson City's picturesque streets, boardwalks, and historical buildings make it a quirky and quaint town that we thoroughly enjoyed. This is the Robert Service Cabin. It is a Klondike National Historic Site and the former cabin of the famous poet who lived in Dawson City. This is the Jack London Museum. Jack London, who wrote the famous books The Call of the Wild and White Fang, began his career as a gold miner in the Dawson City area. The city's historic buildings came to life with a fun and engaging interpreter on a guided tour we took.
So those two ladies came over here, high society with their bloomers and all of that. Bowling alley. They had some canaries, they had some pigeons, really, really handy things in the middle of a gold rush. And that's just kind of the weird stuff that did happen and still yet happens to this day.
That landslide is not just a landmark to us, we're very patriotic to it. It's a very sacred site. And to us it means we're home, we're on our traditional territory.
Yeah, the same dog.
Fellows Hall. Any of you familiar with that club? Or the lady of the hour? And which was quite casual, very monitored.
Montreal Marie, Spanish Jeanette, Golden Gut Flossie. For these ladies, Dawson imported fashions from Paris. Nothing but the best. Fairbanks. This scene, above all others, remained in my father's mind to his dying day. Of the tens of thousands who came here, only a handful found the gold they were seeking. And yet, very few, I think, regretted the journey to Dawson City. The Great Stampede was the high point of their life.
Dawson City is home to Canada's oldest saloon. Stepping into Diamond Tooth Gerties Gambling Hall is like taking a step back in time. It has maintained the Gold Rush-style saloon you would expect in Dawson City. Besides the typical games like slots, roulette, and blackjack, the real highlight is the can-can dancers. Even if you don't like gambling, it's worth visiting to experience the same type of entertainment miners did back in the late 1800s. As an added incentive to visit, the Diamond Tooth Gerties Gambling Hall is part of a not-for-profit enterprise. All profit earned at the saloon is invested back into the community to preserve the heritage buildings. Just 1.5 hours outside of Dawson City along the Dempster Highway is the striking, rugged, remote Tombstone Territorial Park, a place that should not be missed on your trip to the Yukon. The rough, unpaved Dempster Highway is the only road that provides access to Tombstone Territorial Park and seems a fitting gateway to such a wild, untouched place. This 849-square-mile park is home to an abundance of wildlife such as grizzly bears, black bears, caribou, moose, and Dall sheep. The landscapes are spectacular with large valleys punctuated by jagged peaks. We enjoyed hiking the 4.3-mile Dawson City to Midnight Dome Trail. The challenging and steep trail leads to a beautiful view of Dawson City and the Yukon River. The Midnight Dome can also be reached easily by car. Panning for gold on Bonanza Creek, the site of the original gold discovery, is another experience Dawson offers at its free gold panning site on Bonanza Creek. You have to bring your own gold pan and shovel, but we discovered it was worth it when Mark actually panned for and found gold here at Bonanza Creek and later during our trip in Fairbanks. Nearby where Mark found gold is Dredge Number 4, a National Canadian Historic Site. It is commemorated because it represents the importance of dredging operations in the Yukon between 1899 and 1966. Mark decided he wanted to take the sourdough cocktail challenge at Dawson City's Sourdough Saloon. The saying goes, you can drink it fast, you can drink it slow, but your lips must touch the toe. This famous and pretty grotesque tradition involves enjoying an alcohol beverage of your choice with one unique ingredient, a severed human toe. It's a tradition that has been around for decades. In 1920, a man named Louis Lycan lost his toe due to frostbite and apparently kept it in a jar of alcohol in his private cabin to preserve it. In 1973, Captain Dick Stevenson was cleaning the cabin and came across the toe. That night, he headed down to the Sourdough Saloon and started putting it in the drinks of anybody who would be game to try it. And thus the sourdough cocktail was born. If you swallow the toe, you'll be fined $2,500. And yes, that has actually happened. The toe has been accidentally swallowed on more than one occasion.